leave it on the shelf. Ain't hearing nothing else. Tonight ain't the night, knowing the price. Pay it off with my life, till it's out with your lights. Do it all for the Christ, and he ain't playing nice. Knew the end from the start. Fix your face like it's art. The sons of a simp, call him Bart. Yeah, you did your best, played your part. But now it's time to cut you to the heart. Flex on occasion. It's the strangest of the salvation. You see it, believe it, amazing. Them terrorists coming invasion since the creation. War, mine, Lord, bless the general. Greatest nation, eat them unequivocal. Bombs dropping, buddy, cause it's biblical. Start shit, now it's time to finish. Whoa. Said he won't vote, he looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.
I can't wait for our kingdom to start and for there to be finished. Get rid of all of their idols and lying religions. Look for the crown like an Edris. Hey, this that crown talk. Wisdom of Solomon 5 talk. This that second Edris 6 and 9. We want eyes talk. It's your time to end and my time begin. It's our time to win. Away with the sin. You know what it is. Rejoice with my kin. See that is why we repented. Go to the streets, I can see myself in it. The city is bright, the kingdom of light. A wonderful sight past the angels, the inner light. I need 1,000 years of labor. Sit on my throne with my savior. Try the new wine, press alone. He bring pain like major. You think the nations is equal to us? TK Kirkland, who raised you? Flex on occasion, my God a racist. That's why we moving with patience. It's been a long time coming. I spent my whole life running. Now that I'm 10 toes down and established my faith on 100. Woe to the nations, my king will race them. You know they gotta be punished. Jeremiah 25. Yeah, you know they gon' fry. Whoa. Said he won't vote, we looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. And the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. And the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. And the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.
Hey. 1, 2, 1, 2. Somebody turn my mic up a second. All right. Finally. All type of technical difficulties. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, we got to fire some more people. I thought we fired enough people last week. Got to fire some more people. All right, y'all. Shalom, Mosiah, Christ bless. Pray all is well with everybody. All right. We're going to reintroduce ourselves. This is the Nehemiah Squad podcast radio show. I am Captain Zaccai.
Yo, what's up? All
right. So throw the thumbnail back up there, brothers. Throw the thumbnail back up there. All right. So today's show is called Wait, Black People Invented That? And our special guest is Miss Tamara Shiloh. We're going to bring her right on because she's been waiting for a while. Miss Tamara, where you at? Hey, there you go.
All right.
How you doing?
I'm good.
All
How
right.
you doing?
I'm good. We glad to have you. Just want to say we apologize for you waiting around, you know.
Not a thing.
But we got you here. So, Miss Tamara, introduce yourself to the people and let us know what you do.
It's Tamara Shiloh. I do a few things. I own the Multicultural Bookstore here in Richmond, California.
Okay.
And I also co-own the Multicultural Bookstore in Las Vegas, Nevada.
All right.
On the north side, on the west side, historic west side. Be sure to say that. I'm an author. I write children's books about Black inventors and scientists. It's a 7-book series. I have published 2 and trying to get the 3rd one out, but life gets in the way sometimes.
That's right.
I have a nonprofit. I teach Black history after school and in the summer. I also teach teachers how to teach Black history all year. Mm-hmm. And I just actually included Hispanic Latinx history.
Okay, that's good.
And so let's see. Yeah, kind of busy doing that. looking to start a micro school here. You know,
when you say a micro school, what do you mean?
Micro schools are small schools. They're like home schools on steroids, if you will.
Gotcha. Okay.
They're small schools. Classes are anywhere from 1 to 10 kids, and you can have them anywhere. You can teach out of your living room, the church, wherever.
That's right.
The educators do not have to be credentialed. A lot of the micro schools call their educators coaches, and you teach all the courses, but like I said, they're small, more individualized. Children kind of feel loved, important, that you're really interested in them getting a good education. And when there's a fewer children involved, scholars, then it's easier to do that, of course. Right. And so we're looking to do that this September, K through 6th grade. That's our goal. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of it. It keeps me pretty busy, actually. I write the Black History column for the newspaper here, with a local Post newspaper. I have a podcast called Once Upon a Time in Black History. Okay. It's a short podcast, 5 or 6 minutes, to just kind of give you a taste of some of the remarkable Black folks that have done some incredible things. And so it's, hopefully I'll give you enough where you're curious enough to go and hopefully research. Get more information about them.
That's right. So let me ask you, what inspired you to do this, the Just Imagine series? Because that's what it is with these, with your kids' books.
Yes. Quick story. I received an email about 25 years ago, and it had a list of all these Black inventors and scientists. And of course, I wasn't sure. And at that time, I had just learned how to use Microsoft Publisher. So I was creating little booklets for a friend of mine's business. And I thought, okay, I'll do this with these names. But then I thought I better go check it out, because the email was really pretty new then. Mm-hmm. And so I wasn't sure if the information was true. So sure enough, I went to the library, and I could not believe first I got pissed, because I didn't know any of these people, and how could this be? And I don't know them. And then I decided, what, I'll write a book. And, but then when putting all the information together, it was very clear that book was going to be about 5 or 6 inches thick. And I decided to write a series, not knowing what the heck I was doing, but it was just the whole idea of getting it done, getting something in writing that kids could really enjoy reading. And so initially back in 2000, the book was full of clip art, but the information was good. And so I really did okay with it. Was kind of more of a pamphlet, but folks bought it because they had not heard of any of the people that were in there. That's right. And then fast forward, and I wrote about 4 then. They had different themes. The first one is about a young man going through the house, discovering what Black people invented or improved that we use every day. The second one, he and his cousin go downtown and discover more things that Black people invented or improved. The third one is about African-American women inventors and scientists. And then the fourth one is about Black cowboys. The fifth one is about Blacks in aviation, like Tuskegee Airmen, Bessie Coleman. The fifth one is music. So it'll be about composers, no hip hop or R&B. This is,
you're talking about like Mozart.
Yes, right.
Well, let me say something to you. This mic is a little too high, guys. Can you turn it down just a bit? Can we say something to you real quick? Because we brought out something one time. We had a show about music, and we had a book where it showed that Mozart was actually a Black person.
Well, he's not.
Oh,
but that's okay.
Oh, you saying no?
No, he wasn't.
Why you say that?
I heard that too, but
did you actually read it or did you hear it?
No, I read it.
Where'd you read it?
That he wasn't. Where
that
did
he was not? Okay.
Not.
All right. We got something for you.
We,
Brother,
no,
but,
so
but you go
that,
ahead. I just want to throw that in there while while we want the topic. Go ahead.
but it's like how often did they say Babe Ruth was black? Remember?
No, that's hey, we had didn't we make a joke about that as well? We had an athlete up here, but they were saying just because of the way he looks, and I think his mom was like either she was part black or part Native American or something, gave him a different look. That's what we heard. But he's not black. We know that.
Unfortunately, I've been doing this a little while, and it's very frustrating when I look on YouTube and they have these wonderful videos and the picture is all wrong. They have Louis Latimer and Garrett Morgan and Elijah McCoy on everybody's picture.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. That's like what they do when you look at the Moorish art, they'll use Saint Maurice. They'll use his picture for like a lot of different people. Or
exactly.
And they'll and it's keep calling them a different, but it's Saint Maurice. It's not, you know what I mean? It's weird.
Right. And it's confusing for children. That's what people need to know.
Right.
So a lot of times they recognize somebody, oh, that's Louis Latimer. And then they'll be learning about somebody else and they'll look and it's the same picture and it's a different person. So I just wish people would, be a little more careful about that, because it's okay to say that there weren't any pictures back in that time, when these folks were doing what they were doing, which is true. I mean, we're lucky to even have some of the pictures that we have of these people, but it is what it is, right?
Right. Okay. So let me ask you. So in out of all of the inventors and scientists that you've been researching, which ones stand out to you the most?
I hate that question.
I got to get you. I got to put you on the spot.
Yeah, because I don't have one.
Right.
But let me tell you why. Because I'm so amazed at what we have done.
Right.
It's just so totally incredible. Our lives would be so different. Everybody's, honest to God, if you had known that you had the option to be any of these things that, these folks are, you learn about a microbiologist, an oceanographer, folks that are anthropologists, entomologists. How could you, aspire to be any of those things if you don't know that there's something that Black people actually do or did and still doing, right? It's just not fair. So I'm just, I don't know. I don't have one person. I admire them all, to be very honest with you.
Right.
What they accomplish and the things they have to deal with, and the fact that there have been books about these folks that were written back in the 50s and the 60s, and we don't even know that. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean,
could you?
So I don't have one, honest to God, and
I know you wouldn't. I was just messing with you. I know you.
I try to come up with somebody, but no, I don't have one person that I can think of.
That's fine. So, Ms. Tamara, think about it. Like, out of all the people that you're researching and finding out who our people, inventions that they created, what about the ones who got no credit, right? Because remember, during the time of slavery, you had what was called meritorious manumissions, right? Where if one of the slaves had created something, right, then the owner would take would take that invention for himself, right? He would take credit for that and possibly allow that slave to be allowed to go free.
So with that said, can you imagine how many inventions we didn't get credit for that reuse, or and that is a problem, but there's nothing we can do about it unless somebody comes forth and say, yeah, he really did that, not me, or the relatives at this point, right? But that's a hard one, and it happened all the time.
Yeah, they're gonna say we did it, and then there's gonna be no money exchange. It's gonna be like, yeah, they did it. Congratulations.
Right.
No check. Hey, bring up I got a good one for you too as well. Bring up number one. I just want to show the people what we're talking about in regards to meritorious manumissions. I just want to bring that up so everybody can actually see the meaning of it. All right, that's number one.
Number one.
Right.
All right. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, the idea of meritorious manumission, where a slave could be freed for a good deed.
A good deed. Go ahead.
Could include creating an invention that could benefit the slave owner.
And by benefit the slave owner, that means make him money. Go ahead.
Here's how it worked in the context of inventions. The Meritorious Manumission Act of 1710. This act in Virginia allowed a slave owner to free a slave for good deeds, which included inventing something the slave owner could profit from.
Right. It's something the slave owner could profit from. Right? And good. Read on the next one. Slave owners benefiting.
Slave owners often took credit for the inventions of their slaves and could potentially make a significant amount of money from them, even if the slave could not legally patent their invention.
Right, because at that time we couldn't get any patents, right? We wasn't allowed to get a patent, right? Go ahead, read examples.
Examples. There are cases like Ned, a slave who invented a cotton scraper. His owner tried to patent it, but it was rejected because he was not the original inventor, and Ned, as a slave, could not obtain a patent. However, the owner still made money selling Ned's invention without a patent.
Right, so he didn't even need the patent. So whoever was running the patent office, they wanted to really keep it, to spec, right? No, we can't give it to you because you didn't invent it, but you can still make money off of it. Right, so this is what we were going through. So just you could drop that. I just wanted the people to see exactly what we were talking about, so they'll know how crazy things were.
Yep.
In regards to inventions, right? Have you seen anything on Terrence Howard, the actor? Have you seen anything on him?
No.
Okay, so Terrence Howard, the actor, right, is now pretty much a scientist. Right, he's been a scientist all this time, and nobody's known about it. Right. So he's been bringing a lot of things to the forefront. He has over 90-something patents.
What?
Yes. I'm going to bring it up for you right now because a lot of people don't know this, right? Bring up number 4. Bring up number 4. Matter of fact, let's play a video first just so we can, so Ms. Tamara can see him discussing it, and then we'll bring up the actual patents. All right? Bring up number 3. And then we're going to go to 1 hour and 38 minutes. Put that disclaimer up there, please. We do not want problems. Bring it back a little bit with the volume.
All you have, huh?
Bring it back a little. Okay.
Rispent, you're,
Okay.
Not that one, not that one, not that one. Yeah, that's the propulsion patent. 8, no. That's all you have, huh? Really? I'll double check. If you can go to Terry's linchpin, I'll show you on here. This is what this is what we put together for.
Is that online?
This is online.
Text me that link and I'll just send it to him.
Yeah.
You got it?
You got it.
Okay.
So merging virtual reality. It says merging virtual reality with reality. Go down, patents and files, the very first one. Tap on that. So you go and look over to,
All right.
you'll see my name, inventor, Terrence Deshawn.
Right, pause that. So now we're going to go to that actual document, right? So he's showing Joe Rogan and the audience all of his patents because nobody knew what the heck was going on. Terrence Howard, we just know him as an actor. But Terrence Howard is coming up with all kinds of new scientific innovations that we've known nothing about. And you're going to be shocked when you see this, Tamara. You're going to be shocked. Okay. Bring that up. Number 4. Okay. So when you look, it says, that's what he was reading. System and method for merging virtual reality and reality. I can't see the top. Right. Virtual reality and reality to provide an enhanced sensory experience, right? So when we're looking at the virtual reality glasses and all of that stuff, Terrence Howard came up with all of the newer technology that people are using right now. So if you can see the inventor right there, Terrence Howard, that's what he was bringing up, right? Scroll down a little bit, brothers. Scroll down just a bit. Scroll. Okay, where it says cited, look to the right. Where it says patent citations, go to the next one. Cited by. Click on that. Okay, look at this. So these are all his publication numbers, right? That his patent numbers. And if you can see the assignee, because what happened was they didn't actually, when they gave him the patents, he had to pay a lot of money to keep the patents going. They didn't contact him. So what happened was it became so-called, quote unquote, abandoned. Right. So these companies jumped in and took over his patents. So remove me from the screen so we can see. These are a couple of companies on the top that we don't know too much about. Avaya Inc. Method and System for Physical Mapping in a Virtual World. That's number 2. But look at the third one, Microsoft. I see it. Right? Sensing, yeah. Right, sensing floor for locating people and devices. Scroll down a little. Right, augmented reality system. Keep going. Look at Amazon Technologies, integrated community of augmented reality environments. Hewlett Packard, projection capture system, programming and method. This the actor, Terrence, this is crazy. Sony Corporation, image processing apparatus, image processing method and program. Right? Scroll down some more, y'all. Watch this. Scroll. You can see a lot of companies, but I want y'all to see one in particular. Keep scrolling.
Hewlett Packard. Right,
Hewlett Packard, but watch. You got aerospace, B aerospace, apparatus and method for providing altitude reference. That's supposed to be altitude reference for vehicle passengers, right? Keep scrolling. There's a lot, but there's one in particular I want y'all to see. Look at that, GoPro. Everybody knows GoPro.
Yes.
They grabbed his stuff. See that? Hardware accelerated image processing for spherical projection. Stop right there, y'all. Stop right there. Raytheon. That's what I want you to see.
Yes.
Right? So Raytheon, you know that they're a weapons company, really. They make weapons, they make fighter jets, all type of stuff, right? Modular circuit card assembly for advanced training applications.
That's
so
the front door.
This is unbelievable stuff. If you get a chance and you watch that interview with him on Joe Rogan, it's incredible. And he has another one on another podcast called PBD, but it's where they actually got on a NASA spaceship scientist, and he was agreeing with some of the stuff that Terrence Howard was bringing out. It's incredible. But go back to the video because he's going to say something in that video. I want y'all to hear.
Before you do it, what are the dates?
Huh?
The dates?
The dates. Oh, go back, y'all. Go back, y'all.
So the first column is what date?
The first column is the date of, I guess, the priority date and publication date.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So he actually received those patents.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, but they bought them.
Yeah. What they said was he didn't make the payments. I guess there was some payments he missed, but he said that there was over $250,000 to $300,000 worth of payments that he was supposed to pay for those patents, but he didn't even know about them. By the time it got to him and he realized what was going on, all of these companies had already integrated his stuff.
I got you.
Right.
Okay. Yes.
You know, okay. But I want y'all. I want you to hear this last part of the video. Bring that video back, y'all. All right.
And Howard. Worldwide application, and let's just read the abstract just so they'll...
System and method for merging virtual reality and reality. Scroll it so I can see it. To provide an enhanced sensory experience. A system and method of merging virtual reality sensory detail from a remote site into a room environment at a local site. The system preferably includes at least one image server, a plurality of image collection devices, a display system comprising display devices, a control unit, digital processor, and a viewer position detector. The control unit preferably receives the viewer position information and transmits instructions to the digital processor. The digital processor preferably processes source data representing an aggregated flow aggregated field of view from the image capturing devices in accordance with the instructions received from the control unit and outputs the refined data representing a desired display view to be displayed on one or more display devices wherein the viewer position detector dynamically determines the position of the viewer in the room environment and changes the desired display view corresponding to position changes of the viewer.
Now you see,
This is all you?
Yeah, this look.
This is all you. Joe Rogan said, "This is all you." But go ahead, hit play.
Go up a little bit and slide over. It says Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
Worldwide patent, 2010. It was abandoned. Now go to cited by. You see that 131 cited by? Tap on there. It's right under where it says abandoned. Patent
Cited
citation.
by 31.
Cited by 31. It's to the right. Yep, right there. Tap on there and look at all the companies. And if you look at the patent, these companies have all earned, they have multi-billion-dollar companies they've built off of my patents. Just roll through.
Sony,
It's crazy.
Microsoft, Amazon.
Hewlett-Packard.
Yeah.
Keep going. IBM, and it's still making money. This patent has earned over $7 trillion.
Damn. Hit pause.
And you didn't get a piece.
And I haven't gotten a penny of it. When they
Hit
did
pause.
all of...
Hit pause. This man said that he's not just throwing a number out there. He knows.
Right.
They've earned over $7 trillion. Nobody's even turning around and saying, Terrence, hey, this was incredible. You know what? You abandoned it. So-called, we made some bread. Come on and let's talk some more. Nobody's saying that.
Right.
Because they used to robbing us. They're always used to robbing us. But hit play because I want y'all to hear something.
The Black Lives Matter, like Raytheon Company.
Here we go.
And IBM, if you...
Crazy.
And it still has another 9 years, another 8 years in which I would be making money off it. But what they didn't know is they didn't understand is how it was really supposed to work. So they've just been taking this gun and been using it as a bat. And if they wanted to know, I could show them how it really, really works. But this is proof that my stuff
Is legit.
is legit.
That's it. That's
So
all
let
we
me
want. Right? So he said that they're using it they're taking a gun and using it as a bat, meaning that although they have his technology, they don't really know how to use it because they haven't spoken to him personally. But this is the beauty of our people.
Right.
Where you have a brother who's just known as an actor the whole time he's coming up with all of this stuff. And it's really deep. You need to watch it. You personally, sis, you would love it. You would love
Right.
it.
And I mean, he's a young person. So he's
Right.
been doing this a long time. 2010, that's
Yeah.
what, 20 some years ago? I
Yeah.
mean, 15 years. Wow.
Yeah, he always wanted to do that, but his mother kind of pushed him into the acting thing. He did that, but then something happened and he wound up going right back to it because that's what was pulling him, right? But we want to read something out of the Bible for you, right? Because our people always had this. We were just known for this, having these inventive minds, scientific minds, what they call science, right? But and we read this a lot. But give me Daniel chapter 1. You know what I want out of there. So this is in the Bible, sis, right? Watch this.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 1 and
Start verse 3.
Verse 3. And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel and of the king's seed and of the princes.
Right. So this is King Nebuchadnezzar. This is during the time of the Babylonian Empire. So they took Israel into slavery. And so now they have these people in slavery. And now what they want to do, they have the head of the eunuchs. They need to make some eunuchs to be around the queen and so on and so forth. Right. So that's what they're getting into. So go ahead, read on.
Children in whom was no blemish.
Right. They wanted children of the Israelites, which had no blemish on them. Go ahead.
But well favored.
Go ahead.
And skillful in all wisdom.
Uh-huh.
And cunning in knowledge.
And cunning in knowledge. Skillful in wisdom, cunning in knowledge. Go ahead.
And understanding science.
Understanding what?
Science.
And understanding science. They came to our people. They were taken from our people just for that. The same thing when we got brought over here in slavery, they went and picked out those certain people to build this country. Hey, brothers, get that from Babylon to Timbuktu. Finish up.
And such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans.
Because they know our people were smart. So they used our talents all the science, all of this to build. And we've been like that in all of these different empires. Our people have been slaves, the same thing over and over and over again, you know?
Yes.
But yeah, just want to throw it back to you, sis. I didn't know if you heard it, you know, what Terrence Howard was doing. I just wanted to, you know.
I did not, and thank you very much. That is pretty incredible. I mean, because it's been a while. It's not a new thing, you know? Well, he's acting and inventing.
Right. Absolutely. Do we have the from Babylon to Timbuktu?
And they acting like he didn't invent it.
Right. No, for real. Actually, I should have clipped another piece where they brought in a white scientist. His name is Epstein or Epstein. I think he calls himself Epstein because he doesn't want to be called Epstein because of the other guy, right? But he came in and was telling Terrence Howard, well, listen, I like your what he told him, I like your imagination, but it hasn't been peer reviewed. So meaning other scientists would have to look at your work and then give it some merit. But Terrence Howard said, I'm not a scientist, so I can't have a peer review because you guys wouldn't even look at my work. He sent it into Neil deGrasse. You know Neil deGrasse Tyson? He sent it to Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson just basically just poo-pooed him and just pushed him off. Didn't even speak to him. Was very disrespectful. Yeah, I'm telling you. But he's making a lot of inroads because people they're listening. He has some real. I mean, the man actually created a new flying vehicle. Like they literally, that's what they're working on now with his propulsion. And so his machine doesn't fly like a normal, it just moves around. It's amazing.
He should get respect just the fact that he made the effort to do this.
That's right.
This isn't a regular layperson
who
decided, you know what I'm saying? Well, he is, but at the same time, he is a scientist. So why would you brush off someone that has the knowledge to put on paper and to do what he's done? That for Neil to do that's
horrible.
Yeah. That was very disrespectful. I mean,
because that's our people. He should be embracing them and saying, listen, come on over. Let me see what you're talking about. You know, it was bad. Hey, brothers, you have that? They have it? Please bring it up. I just want to show. Okay, here we go. All right, so sis, this is from a book called From Babylon to Timbuktu. All right. I wish I would have had the cover. Is that right? Is that it right there? I think so. Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Paragraph. Okay, that's the. I just wanted you to see the. Hold on. Put the cover up there just so. Miss Tamara, right from Babylon to Timbuktu. This is Rudolph R. Windsor. Okay, and so we're gonna scroll down to page, I believe. What is that? 90.
It's page 90.
Okay. All right, there you go.
Zoom in just a little bit.
Zoom in, guys, so he can see it. Okay, there you go. All right.
The black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. They carried their culture, history, laws, and written records with them.
Stop. Notice how it starts off saying the black Jews, right? Because everybody knew the Jews were black. But in this book, he has to say black Jews because when people say Jews, they think of white people.
That's right.
Right. So he put in the black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes because our people, although we were in Africa, we're not the Hamites. We're not from the Ham, the tribe, you know, the people of Ham, which are the forefathers of all the Africans, right? So we're not in biblically, we're not Africans, right? Biblically, we are Israelites, right? But we were living in Africa, right? So that's why it says we had an advantage over the African tribes. But go ahead.
This assured them a constant precedent for the development of a higher social organization.
Go ahead.
Because of the stability of the black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the I can't take the blue. Take the blue
please take that highlight. All right, there you go.
Autonomous population. In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes.
Go ahead.
The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were in industrious and skillful people.
Right, a skillful people, like what we read in the scriptures. Go ahead.
In the Jewish Ghanaian states were found kings, princes, governors, generals, secretaries, treasurers, revenue agents, judges, architects, engineers, doctors, historians, language interpreters, mathematicians.
Right. So these were all the people that they brought up in slavery. This is who they took. They didn't take some guys swinging through the trees like they tell us, and we were wearing some Pampers and they swinging it. No, we were industrious. They took kings, princes, governors, generals. These were in the intelligentsia, the academics, the inventors of our people. Go ahead.
Mathematicians, jewelers, sculptors, masons, carpenters, painters of art, goldsmiths, leather workers, potters, armorers, saddlers, blacksmiths, agriculturists, etc.
Give me Isaiah 40 and 42 real quick. I'm gonna show you this, because when you take a people captive, in order to show yourself not the devil, you would have to paint that people with propaganda and say they were savage, they were this or that. If they painted a picture of kings and princes and architects and agriculturalists and scientists, well, you would be like, well, that's the savage people that did that to that prestigious people, right? So Isaiah 42 and 22.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
So we are a people that have been robbed and spoiled. So imagine that first generation of blacksmiths and goldsmiths and agriculturalists and carpenters and scientists. That first generation would know that they were the inventors of those things. Now, if you enslave that people, you take that people, you're gonna force them to teach you what they know, and then the children of that people, the children of those slaves, would not know they're the inventors, because now the slave master would come and say, "Well, I'm the master builder, and I'm going to show you how to do it." You know what I'm saying? And now we end up coming with this low self-esteem. So when a sister like Tamara comes on and says, look at all these inventions that we make, that instills our self-esteem back, because we are the original architects of this world, So it's necessary to know some of the black inventors. I didn't know black people invented the stoplight and all these things growing up. As far as we're concerned, we just the slaves, right?
Right.
We did a lot, and I think it would have made a lot of difference in how maybe you would have looked at what you wanted to be when you grow up, if in fact had known that all these folks had done all these things. I think everybody would have been touched differently if you knew your history. You know your history, then you know where you're going.
That's beautiful.
Most definitely, because what our people and our kids used to seeing on the TV is gangbangers, drug dealers, and stuff like that. Right. And this is how they paint us out to be. And it's not by coincidence or accident that they paint our people out to be these type of people. Because one thing that they know that we don't is our history. These people know we the Israelites, just like history. These people know that our history. They know we the Israelites. Give me Psalms 83 and verse 1 right quick, please. Watch this.
Well, they do know our history. That's why they don't want us to know our history.
Yeah, I'm going to read it to you out of the scriptures. God said it first. Watch this, sis.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 1.
Yep.
Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies
God said his enemies, go ahead.
Make a tumult.
An angry gathering. God's enemy make an angry gathering against his people. Watch this. Go ahead.
And they that hate thee.
And they that what?
And they that hate thee.
These people that gather, he's letting you know they also hate you. They don't like you at all. Come on.
Have lifted up the head.
They lift up their head in pride. Come on.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
It said they take crafty counsel against God's people. They take their history, their culture, their nationality, and then they spend billions and trillions of dollars to keep it from them. Go ahead.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Why is the Lord calling us the hidden ones right now? Right. Because they stole our nationality. They took Israelite, Judah, Benjamin Levi off of us and made us American blacks, West Indian blacks, and Haitians. Go ahead.
They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation."
There it is, right there. These other nations came together and cut us off from being a nation. What else do you get cut off from when you get cut off from your nationality? Your culture, your language, your land,
Your history.
The inventions that your people came up with. You don't get none of that. You don't get none of that. And God said it first, because these people, they just don't like us. That's just the way that it is. Go ahead.
They have said, "Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance."
You see that the name of Israel, that they don't know that they the children of Israel, that they remember that not. Because if we knew that, then they'd have to teach us that we the greatest people on earth.
Right.
They have to teach us that everything came from us.
Right.
They have to teach us that the stop, like the car, open heart surgery, everything was started by you.
Right.
They don't want to do that. They can't do that because that would give us self-esteem. They don't want us with self-esteem.
Right.
They want us to be the gangbangers. They want us to be the drug dealers. They want the women to be the whores and the men being the whoremongers. That's what they want.
Yeah.
And we can't let them have that.
No way.
No.
Yep.
No.
And the only way that's going to happen is if we step up,
Right.
and teach our children.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
you got to step up. You got to tell these parents they are their children's first teachers. So they have to teach them their history and let them understand how great they are. I have said it several times, Black children are the smartest children on earth. And everybody knows it. And that's why, they treat them the way they do. It's just sad. And I'm sick and tired of it. And everyone else should be sick and tired of it.
Oh, yeah.
We should be running this country. You see, we did a good job. And at any rate, history is very important for our children. It's very important for everyone. So you need to feel good about who you are.
Right.
And just being Black is one thing, but being Black and intelligent, I mean, even when they brought us over here, if you think about it, they would not have survived it if they hadn't brought those Africans over here to show them how to grow their own crops and everything that they taught them. And it happened well before 1619, but that's another story.
No. That's 100% correct. That's 100% correct. And they had to be taught everything when they came.
Everything.
The Native Americans, who they call Native Americans, had to teach them everything. When they got here, right, there was already houses here. There was already reservoir system, all of that, and you read that in the scriptures as well. Like people say, they say civilization came with the Greeks. But when you read in the book of Kings, it tells you that King Hezekiah had conduits where he had water coming into the city. I just want to read this to you real quick, and then I got to ask you a question, Tamara. Just want to read this just so you know. This stuff is in the Bible, so nobody could say that that civilization came with the Greeks. That's impossible. Let me get 2 Kings chapter 20. You can start at 19. Read 19 and 20.
It's the book of 2 Kings, chapter 20 and verse 19.
Yeah. Come on.
Then said Hezekiah unto Isaiah, "Good is the word of the Lord, which thou hast spoken." And he said, Is it not good if peace and truth be in my days?
Go ahead.
And the rest of the acts of Hezekiah and all his might.
Go ahead.
And how he made a pool.
And how he made a pool. Now, this pool is talking about a reservoir. It's not talking about a pool we just swim in, right? A pool. Go ahead.
And a conduit.
And a conduit.
And brought water into the city.
And brought water into the city. This was done way back then. Right? Go ahead.
And brought water into the city. Are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah?
Right. So it's just telling you how our people, all the things we create, and there's more in here. There's more, and this is a beautiful thing. So I wanted to talk a little bit about your school that you said the micro school. Yeah, are you guys going to focus on? Because I know you still have to teach math and certain sciences.
All the core stuff, all the core subjects, and they all will be aligned with the state standards.
Right. And then once you do that, are you going to be making an emphasis to teach what we know as Black history? Will you be teaching that heavily? How listen,
very heavily.
Right.
Actually, our theme is the Kwanzaa principles. They will recite those every day. As far as STEM, we want to focus on medicine. We've learned that. I don't know if it's 1% in California or 1% in the United States, but of all the doctors, only a very small number are Black, and that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
So it's like everything else, you introduce and you keep introducing this so that children can understand that there's careers in medicine, and they don't just have to be a physician. They could be a researcher, scientist, or whatever. But we're gonna kind of heavily emphasize the medicine field. We have a group here called Robinson Weeks Robinson, and it's a doctors organization anyway, and so they're very anxious about helping us with this as well. But a lot of STEM, a lot of history, of course. Music, we're going to teach violin, and we're going to teach Swahili and Spanish. Home economics, teach them how to repair a bicycle and how to boil water.
Right, because home ec went out the window a long time ago. Now nobody knows how to cook.
Nobody knows how to cook.
Right, it's terrible.
Yeah, so, we're just going to provide them with, along with the core subjects, the things that you used to do when you were in school, art, music, PE, learn how to speak. We have our language, and that's the other thing that folks need to understand, that we have our language, and then there's a standard language. So, when it comes to English as a second language, they should consider our language as well. We need help. Our children need help, and they need to understand that what they say is okay. That's our language. The fact that they don't say it right. I had to learn that, okay, and that's the truth.
So when you say our language, you're talking about our version of English?
Okay.
Ebonics?
What's called Ebonics. It's called, I forgot, there are all these fancy terms, but and we speak that way because when we came from Africa and then we came over to the South, now you have those blends. And so that's why we talk the way we do. So that is a language. And I understand now that in some court situations, they have Black folks come in and translate what the kids are saying because they don't understand them.
This is crazy.
So if you're having someone explain to you what someone is saying, that means you're interpreting another language. So it should be treated like that.
Wow. So now we got interpreters for our slang. This is crazy.
I say I'm finna go to the store. He's about to go to the store.
Right. He is contemplating.
So a famous one for me, and I had to learn, and thank God I didn't know the difference, but when I was growing up, we used to make groceries. And I'll never forget going home with a friend of mine, white girl, and I told her that, what are you doing this weekend? Well, I'm going to make groceries tomorrow. And she asked me, why do you do that? I'm like, how do you do what? She said, well, how do you make groceries?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like, you go to Safeway or wherever, Lucky's or whatever. She was like, no, you buy groceries. I looked at her. I got embarrassed because it was like, right. But growing up, we made groceries.
Yeah. Okay. I never heard that one. Y'all know about that? Making groceries? That's my first time hearing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's my first time.
God. It must be. And my parents are from Louisiana, Monroe. So maybe,
Yeah, that might be that thing. Yeah. No, it's real because
somebody on this call will know what I'm
100%. 100%. I'm pretty sure some people out there is like, oh, yeah, that's what we used to say.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people in California, their family is from Louisiana.
Right.
So I know that for a fact. I'm from New York originally, so
Okay. I forgive you. Okay. I still like you.
Yeah, I still like you. Hey, come on, sis, don't do this. Oh man, but yeah. So But you made an important point, right? Because when we show these inventors, right, it makes the children's mind go into a different space, right? Like the other day, I was at the gas station. You know, as a kid, he was trying to make some money to go on a trip. And so he's selling candy and so on and so forth. So I asked him, you know, what are you trying to be when you grow up? I was shocked. And he said, yeah, I want to be an engineer. I want to be able to design skyscrapers. And he was talking some stuff. I was like, oh, okay. That's all right. It's my first time hearing that. Usually you don't hear kids talking like that. Right. You know,
they want to be basketball players.
Exactly.
Football players and baseball players.
Influencers.
Yeah, my man.
But what happens when you blow out your knee?
Right. Right.
Got nothing to fall back on.
Yeah, you blow out your knee and then you become a scout. Yeah. they just want to be in sports. They just want to be in sports.
Wait, maybe.
Right, maybe. Yeah. They just want to be in sports no matter what. Yeah. But there's so many different avenues, right?
In sports, absolutely.
Like you brought up STEM. That's a great avenue to go down. A lot of our people are strong, but they're scared to get into it because they're nervous when it's time to get the job now. Are they going to hire me? I'm black. But they don't need to even think about that. Just get the knowledge and move forward, you know? Okay, so let me ask you this.
Okay.
And I know you got your thing going on, but I got to ask you. You mentioned that you guys are going to be reciting the Kwanzaa tenets.
Principles.
The principles, I'm sorry. Why choose that? The Kwanzaa principles as opposed to, say, biblical teachings or whatever.
We just, I don't know how it actually came up, but when it did, we were talking about what we were going to have, the affirmations we were going to have the children say every day, right? And so someone said, well, what about the Kwanzaa principles? That's how that came up. I don't know exactly who said it, but that's why. No other reason, no thingy.
Right. No, because I remember, I can't remember the year that Kwanzaa came around, but I remember when Kwanzaa popped up and it was supposed to be like the black holiday right around Christmas and all of that. And I remember we were like, oh, it's not really, you know what I mean? It's like, it was kind of made up.
Yeah, you tried it.
Right.
Okay.
The 7 principles of Kwanzaa, also known as Nguzo Saba, unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, which is Ujamaa, which a lot of our people, we had the brother, he has Ujamaa Farms. I don't know if you heard of them. They write in West Sacramento.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they do a great job. He came on the show, Brother Keith, good brother. What else you got? Purpose, creativity, right?
And the name of the school is Nia Academy, which means...
Okay, no, that's good. Listen, any place where our people can be together and grow, but what we like to show our people, and you know this already, we the Israelites, so we believe wholeheartedly, we the Jews. We know this from the Bible, we know this from secular references that we read in different books and tapestries of art showing us as the Moors, but we know that that's the Israelites, ruling Europe for close to 1,000 years. So these are the things, and sis, if you need anything like that for your school in regards to any of the Moorish information, textbooks, images, anything like that, let us know, because these are the things our people need to know, that we ran Europe for close to 1,000 years. Yeah. I don't know if people know that. You're talking about Germany, you're talking about Britain, Russia, Italy, Spain, and it's important for our people to know this because they're thinking that we just came out of Africa, we just some slaves. But before that, right, we had some of our people was in Africa, but a lot of us was in Europe. Right. We controlled, we had the lock on both sides of the hemisphere, which you had the Native Americans, so-called Native Americans on this side, on the west, and then you had the east. And we had that in a lock before we got taken over by the so-called white man. Yeah. We call him so-called because he's not white. He's red, right? But
red.
The red. Right? So these are the things that we like to teach the kids. We're also starting a school. It's starting in September. It's starting out on the East Coast first. and it's going to make its way across the country, right? And same thing, we got to teach the core math, or arithmetic, the whole 9 science, whatever. But there's going to be a heavy emphasis, obviously, on our history as Israel and teaching the Bible.
What kind of school? Charter school?
I don't know if we're calling it a charter school. I can't remember the exact, because I think if it's charter, it's underneath something. So I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Right, I got you. That's
right.
why we're a micro school. We're not attached to anyone.
Right.
It's kind of, like I said, homeschool, private school, but we don't have to listen to all the rhetoric. We teach our kids the way they need to be taught.
Right, absolutely.
And want to be taught.
No, absolutely. So what do we have to look forward from you, Tamara? Because I know you mentioned 5 books, but I seen 2 of them, and then I seen some coloring books and a workbook.
Yes, they're coming. That's the best I can do. But this bookstore, and my nonprofit, and now the school, and all the other writing that I do, it's really kind of taken over. But it's going to happen without a doubt. I want to make sure the bookstore is where folks really feel it's a safe space. All of the children's books are all face forward. So like that on the shelf. So when kids walk in here, they can see themselves on the cover.
That's right.
And when parents and teachers come in, they don't have to know the name of the book or the name of the author. It's kind of that WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get.
Right.
And they love it because, they don't always know the name of the books or, the authors. And this way they don't have to. Now, the adult books, like the ones behind me, we still do the spines with some of them. Some of them we have face forward, but.
So the adult books, do you write adult books as well?
No, I don't write. Oh, no. I'm saying I sell all these books.
Okay, right. I just want to know, because maybe you did have some that you were writing. Okay.
Just children's books.
Okay.
For me. But I'm just saying in the store in general, we want folks to feel like it's a safe space. And so I need to up my inventory, and because there's so many great writers out there. Geez, I'm telling you. And they've been out there. It's just that now they have more avenues where they can get their books printed. And then, of course, you can do your own printing now and publishing your own books. So you don't have to depend on a publisher. But even if you get a publisher, you still have a lot of work to do. They don't just, you're not James Patterson or, what I'm saying. So you have to do a lot of work, even if you do get a publisher. And then a lot of times it depends on the book, of course. So,
did you ever try to get the books in a public school system?
Yes, I did for a minute, and then, it's like everything else. So, initially I did. San Francisco actually, well, not just my book, but they bought a bunch of books. This school district did it for a couple of schools in the summer when I was doing summer programs. So they bought them for the whole school. When they saw them, they were kind of impressed them. So they bought the books. But yeah, I don't get a lot of help from the districts here. That's why I'm doing my own thing.
Right. No, absolutely. Brothers, y'all got something?
Yeah, I just had an interesting question while you're here. Is there a list of inventions that you think us commonly might not know that we made?
Do I think there's a list of inventors and scientists that what?
Like commonly, so-called Black people would not know we made it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
what inventions do you know of that we probably wouldn't know that was ours?
Well, we don't have that much time.
Yeah, just give us a few of them. I want to know a few of them.
Okay. The folding bicycle.
Okay. Okay.
We did that. Garrett Morgan did not create the traffic signal. Okay. He did not. The traffic light. No, he didn't. That came out long after him. He created the all stop. So the traffic signal was, stop and go. Okay. And a lot of people had created those, but he created the all stop, which is kind of the precursor for the yellow light. But he created the all stop. The fact that Bessie Coleman had to go to France to get a doggone pilot's license, that was insane. I really admire her for having done that. The young lady, Alice Ball, who created a cure or help for leprosy. And she died very young, but she had created something for that. I talk about him all the time. Lewis Latimer, the light bulb. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
We all knew about Thomas Edison, right?
Yeah. Bring up
When
number
I
9.
learned about it, I couldn't understand how you could possibly talk about the light bulb without talking about Lewis Latimer. That just makes no sense at all to me. What else? Well, the record player, okay, he made the arm better for the record player. And then the guitar, that guy, I don't know enough about instruments in that way, but
wait, you said Lewis Latimer had something to do with the record player?
No, I was adding some more folks who had done some stuff.
Okay.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Because when I am talking about it, I could go on for days. I mean, the stuff in the kitchen, the dustpan, the long handled dustpan.
Right.
We didn't create the little one, but the long handled one that everybody uses, every movie theater, dog walkers.
Yeah.
Yep. We did that.
A slave would make that because it would make their job easier.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They would
Well,
make
you
a
think
boom.
about that. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
And that's why we did invent a lot of things, because we were doing all the work. So you try to figure out a way to make it easier. The sprinkler system, he improved that. The refrigerator, the 2-door refrigerator, his last name is Stannard. He created that. I mean, and think of the million things that George Washington Carver invented.
It's outrageous.
I mean, we've done a lot.
Yeah.
Gladys West, that she was very instrumental in creating the GPS. And we only found that out when her soror sisters wanted to do a story on her. So they needed her biography, and they found out all this, that she had done this. And she just said it was her job. She never thought about the fact that she was making history.
Right. That's crazy.
Right?
And what about the sister who made CCTV? Right? She made
Oh no, the home security system.
The home security.
Exactly. I mean, and she used, the
Marie
TV, Brown. The monitor was a television, and she had a box where she had a peephole and the whole bit. She and her husband, they had different shifts. And so I think they were in Queens, and she was not feeling safe. So they came up with that, which, and they, however that works, they still use some of that, her invention today in the newer Marie Van Britten. Yep. I mean, and that's the other thing, when you talk about inventors, most people think about men. They don't think about the women who have done some really incredible things. We have chemists, we have microbiologists, we have engineers. I mean,
100%.
Just a slew.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I kind of wanted to point out a common factor that we see in, right? We've talked about patents, and we've seen them stolen. Correct. We've seen it happen to Terrence Howard recently, and we're talking about like Thomas Edison. When you think of the light bulb, you think of, or maybe not you because we know the history now, right? But the common person would think of a white person, and white people get that honor of saying, "Well, we made the light bulb or whatever. We came up with that smart invention." The way you steal a patent is you put a name on it, right?
Right.
I would not destroy the invention because it's beneficial to me. So it'd be more beneficial to steal it. But the people that actually invented, I would have to cover that up. There's also great history with honor behind it, right? And the way you steal history is not with a name, but actually with a picture. So how
right?
And a great honor comes behind the history. I wouldn't want to destroy this history because the history is great. So the way I steal somebody's history, I put a new picture on it. And whoever picture is on there, they get the honor of having that great history, you know? So like you got stories in the Bible like Samson and Delilah or whatever. Samson was a mighty man, you know, he was extra strong. Jesus Christ himself, right? The main person of humbleness and love for his people, you know what I'm saying? But if I don't want to destroy that history. I don't want to destroy it. I need to take it for myself and put it on my people. All I have to do is put a picture on it, right? So the thing we do, if we just took surface level, right? If we accepted Thomas Edison and never did any further research, right? If we just accepted Microsoft made the new motion capture and never did any further research and seen Terrence Howard's name on it. If we just accepted that first, we would never find out. Like, and you remember you said we can't allow that. So it's on us to further our own education and actually read. So if I want to hide an Afghan, I'm gonna probably hide him somewhere in India. You know, I'm not gonna hide him in Europe or so on and so forth. And it sounds very taboo when we mentioned earlier that we not necessarily Africans, right? So if you wanted to hide a so-called black person running from persecution, about to be put to death, you would hide him in a black land, right? And we like to bring these things out for educated people to go do further research, go do some further. I want to put one scripture. Give me Matthew 2 and
13.
13, yeah. I want to do that. I want to go to Matthew 2 and 13, right? Because we know there was a time on the earth. There was a time on the earth where everybody thought the Egyptians were white, right? You look at
the Ten Commandments.
The Ten Commandments. You know what I'm
Heston.
saying? Yeah, Charlton Heston. All the Egyptians are white, and only the Cushite is black.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when we come to find out, people start traveling over to Egypt. We looking on the walls and like, wait a minute, you know, these are black people here. And now we find out now it's commonly known that the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, were black people, right? So watch this.
Matthew chapter 2, verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeareth to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother.
That young child is Christ. The mother is Mary, right? Read on.
And flee into Egypt.
Why would they hide a white Jesus Christ in black Egypt? Herod would have found him like that. You know what I'm saying? Herod would have found him like that and killed him, got the job done. But it is necessary to hide a black child amongst a black people. The same way I would hide a Vietnamese man in China. I wouldn't hide him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wouldn't hide him in Brazil.
Yeah, you're not gonna put him in Harlem.
No.
You
know what I'm saying? So as we do further research, we finding little tidbits here that Jesus Christ, he was hidden in Egypt, right? When I read the description of him in Revelation 1, he got a woolly afro. His skin is as if it burned in a furnace. King Solomon said he's black and comely. You're like, wait a minute.
Right.
You mean to tell me that the Bible that I've been reading this whole time is full of black people? Let's go. And then not only that, we find out that the words say that this is us. And then now come to find out, when I look at the Varney Church, what is that in where's the Varney at? What it's in Russia.
Sorry.
Right? The Varney is full of black images. Putin just pulled out the vault. Black Jesus everywhere. And it's like, wait a minute, we've been reading about this for like 15, 20 years, you know? And now it's all coming out. The history's coming out. The Pucci family. We've been ruling Italy and Spain for 1,000 years. Like, all this great history has been stolen with a picture.
Right.
You know?
And you brought up Egypt, right? Watch, I'm gonna show y'all something about Egypt, because people always talk about the pyramids, how they got built. Oh, maybe spaceships came and built it, and aliens and all this foolishness, right? But watch this. Go to 1 Maccabees chapter 13, right? It's talking about couple pyramids being built. Watch what it says here. You can start in 27. 13:27. Watch this.
First Maccabees chapter 13, verse 27. Come on. Simon also built a monument upon the sepulchre of his father and his brethren, and raised it aloft to the sight, with hewn stone behind and before.
Right. So he was making a monument so people could see where his people are buried. Go ahead.
Moreover, he set up 7 pyramids.
He set up 7 pyramids. Go ahead.
One against another.
Go ahead.
For his father and his mother.
Yep.
And his 4 brethren.
Go ahead.
And in these he made cunning devices.
Stop. And in these he made cunning devices. Go ahead.
About the which he set great pillars.
Right. So he used the devices to set those pillars up. That's how things were getting built.
Right.
They were devices, machines, right, quote unquote, to put things together.
Right.
Read.
And upon the pillars he made all their armor for a perpetual memory. And by the armor ships carved, that they might be seen of all that sail on the sea.
So everything is hidden in books, pretty much. So when we read, that's how we learn.
Yeah.
Right? That's how we learn. So that's why the Bible is so important. Give me Maccabees 3:48.
Yeah.
That's why the Bible is so important, because we see our history is there. And then when they come and show us white Jesus and white Moses and white this and that, when we come back to the scriptures, we're saying this is impossible because everything happened. First of all, Israel came out of Africa. All the people. Now, again, white people, yes, they do. They are in the Bible. But they were shown when they came about in the book of Genesis. They came about. Their name is Esau. They were all red.
Right.
The Lord calls them red. He don't call them white. Just like how he describes us in the Bible as black and comely. Solomon, black and comely. He calls Esau, or the so-called white man, red. They called themselves white and called the Native American red. What are they talking about?
Right.
They're out of their minds. Everybody calls it. They call each other redneck, right? Peckerwood, all of that. Why? Because they're red. That's what the Bible calls them. Yeah, that's just reality. Go ahead, read that thing. Watch this. Watch this, sis.
First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48.
Come on.
And laid open the book of the law.
Right. It said that the Greeks, they laid open the book of the law because they got our Bible, right? They laid it open. Go ahead.
Wherein the heathen sought to paint the likeness of their images.
They want to put their own images in the Bible because our images were in there.
Right.
See, we always had images in the Bible. It's just that you can't worship those images. Right? So you can show what Christ looks like. You can show what Moses looks like. You just can't worship them.
Right.
So the image is not the problem. That's why they went in and started to put their images in there. So the Jesus Christ that we see today is a man called Caesar Borgia.
Yeah.
He's a real person. He's not Jesus Christ, but they used him to be the Renaissance Jesus Christ. During that 1400s, when Renaissance art and white people started to take over, right? We started getting run out of Europe. We were fleeing everywhere. We were getting beat. We were losing. We lost, right? And then they wound up taking us into slavery. But this time, instead of them leaving us with our names, they changed our names, beat our history out of us. Because when we know our history, we're very strong. When we know that we're connected to the Lord, we're very strong. So they had to do that, and they did a beautiful job. Because now what? We're Americans. We're African Americans. We're Jamaican. We're Puerto Rican. We're Dominican. We're Mexican. We got all these names. We're Native American. So it seems like we're not really a family. This is him right here, sis. See, we got we put this together. The Lord's most wanted, Caesar Borgia, for posing as Christ. Right? Where's that book? And this is Leonardo. This is the sketches of Leonardo da Vinci when he was drawing. He was trying to draw Christ and the Heavenly Father. So he used Rodrigo Borgia, which is Caesar Borgia's father, which was the sixth pope. What is his name again?
Yeah, you about to say it.
Right. Pope Alexander VI. That was his name. Pope Alexander VI. All right. And that's what that was. Right. So they created a new Jesus. If y'all brothers, if y'all had the book, right, this is disgusting. This is fake. This and sis, this right here is in a lot of people's house. That was bring that back, brothers.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah, look, the devil is black.
The devil's black.
You can't make it up. And look, the angel is white. Yeah, that's a lie
With
too.
a skirt on.
Yeah.
With a mini skirt on.
Brothers, can y'all go back to right there. And sis, this one right here, this was made in the 1940s. And
Of
people,
course.
right, and people hang this up in their house like they really, that's not Christ at all. Right. Not at all.
But
That's
His
how you
name
steal the
is
history.
Jeff.
know that.
Yeah.
That's Jeff.
Yeah, that's not him at all. Even when you see the movies. What the hell? Even when you see the movies and you have them, oh, ye come to me laden and broken. Come to me, I will give you. That, in the Bible, it tells you Christ talked. He had a strong voice. His voice was powerful as many waters. What are they doing? So this is how they bamboozled us, sis, by imagery. And this is what Officer Judah was bringing out, that by the imagery, they take possession of all the inventions, of all of the history. Because that's all you got to do. Little kids, we on the street teaching. Little kids, we ask them, who's Jesus? We have a picture of the, what do you call it?
Accurate depiction.
Right. An accurate depiction of Christ from the Bible. And we have this picture. And they always point at him and say that's Jesus. So even the little kids are how you call it? Totally brainwashed with who Christ is.
Yeah, indoctrinated.
Indoctrinated, thank you. Right? But when you read the Bible, right, and you read it to the little kids, they'll pick this Jesus right here. Yeah. And the grown-ups will tell you, no, that's not right what y'all guys are doing. But little kids will know, wait a minute, that's him, based on what you just read. And we talking about 5-6-year-olds.
Right.
You know? And this is why they kept us from reading, sis. This is why they kept us from seeing ourselves in this book, you know? And that's why it's important for us to stay in this Bible. Although they have made it into a religious book, it's not. It's a book of history. It's our culture, right? Yeah. It's our civic laws, our marriage laws, right? How we treat one another, you know? And our dietary laws, how we should eat, all of that is here, you know? And so it's important that we come back to that, you know? And we want to definitely share that with you because you're doing it, you know, you're doing an important work.
Right, for real.
And so, we have to share that with our people to let them know that once you all the important work and the gifts that the Lord has given you to push, you know, we're going to hand this to you as well, you know? So hopefully you can move on and do any research. Anything you want to know, you can always contact us because we have no problem. You know,
this was very interesting. Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah,
you know,
the Bible is the history before slavery. Everything that our people did, invented, who we are before slavery. Our identity is right here in the scriptures, and they take that. Like, I'm glad Cap read that First Maccabees because they did that strategically. They just didn't take our imagery. Imagery come with power. Give me that in Proverbs 13:12.
Yep.
Give me that. Imagery come with power, and they understand that.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 12.
Come on.
Hope deferred maketh the heart sick.
The Bible say hope deferred maketh the mind sick because according to the Bible, the heart is the mind. Go ahead.
But when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life.
He said, but when the desire cometh, it's a tree of life. That knowledge, that imagery, all of that stuff is life because it gives the people purpose. It gives the people what's the word I'm looking for? Hope. It gives them hope. That ain't what I was looking for, but I was good. Go to
it gives them vision.
Yeah, it gives them vision. That's what I want.
Yeah,
now give me the one. The other one in Proverbs 29.
Yep, that's it right there. 29:18.
Yep. This is what it do.
Come on.
Thank you. You finally hit the sound bite on time. Do it again.
Come on.
Yeah, one more time.
Come on.
Come on.
Let's go.
Let's go.
18,
brother.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18.
Come on.
Where there is no vision, the people perish.
God says where there is no vision, the people perish. Right. That's why we rotting off in these streets. That's why you can see through history from the 50s, the 60s, all the way up until now, our people is just going down and down and down. We perishing because we don't have no vision. Yeah. We perishing because we don't have nothing to look up to. They taking everything good and putting their face on it, and then taking everything bad and putting our face on it. Right. Go ahead.
But he that keepeth the law.
But he that keepeth God's law, because when you keep God's law, then you understand who you are in the scripture.
That's right.
Come on.
happy is he.
You say happy is he. Why? Because the person that keep God's law know that Jesus Christ is black. They know that Solomon is black. They know that Paul was black. They know all of the apostles is black. They know King Hezekiah had aqueducts and had water running through the city. They know all of the things we invented. They know King Solomon sailed over here to the side of the earth first. All of that stuff, all of that history is right in God's law. Yeah. And they gonna know that if they and that's why they keep the book away from us. That's why they try to take everything away from us and give you them what's them gangster novels, teach you
right.
What you call
The
it?
hell is this?
What's that? You said the gangster novel?
Yeah, the gangster novels. They take away the Bible and then give you the gangster novel.
Right. Street
Okay.
stuff. Street books.
The street books.
Mr. Mara said, I don't got no street books in here.
These for the kids.
yeah, but remember,
I might have, I don't know there are street books.
man, they got street books and it's crazy.
Yeah. So guys will come out of prison or whatever, or some people from the street, they'll go ahead and make a book. And these books are very popular amongst our people because we like crime novels and stuff. That's just because we grew up in that. You know what I mean? So it's relatable. We watch that, it's very relatable. But we have to get our people back to our source. And Mr. Mara, I made a mistake. I think I said Mozart, right? Before. Yeah. It's Beethoven. So we're going to show you something now. We got to show you something out of a book so this way you know. Did you know Beethoven was black? Okay, so you see? You're against that. No problem. We got a book for you. We have a book. You got to listen. You got to come. We got a trillion books. We got a trillion books. You got to look at these books and get some of those books in there. They're very expensive, but baby, you want to take a look. They're very expensive. Yeah, for real. Like usually, if these books come out during the course of our class, then you look on Amazon and the book will go up like $500, literally. All right. So this right here says The Life of Ludwig van Beethoven, right? So let's go. All right. Blow it up a list. Beethoven's teachers in Vienna. Viennese composers in society. So these are the people that were teaching Beethoven, right? So go ahead, read, bro.
It would be pleasant to announce the arrival of Ludwig van Beethoven in Vienna with, so to speak, a grand flourish of trumpets, and to indulge the fancy in a highly colored and poetic account of his advent there. But unluckily, there is none of that lack of data which is favorable to that kind of composition, none of that obscurity which exalts one to write history as he would have it, and not as it really was.
Right, go ahead.
The facts are too patent.
Right, the facts are too patent. All right, go ahead.
Like the multitude of studious youths, young men who came thither annually to find schools and teachers. This small, thin, dark-complexioned... This
small, thin, dark-complexioned... Go ahead.
Pockmarked...
Go ahead.
Dark-eyed...
Go ahead.
Big-wigged young musician...
Bewigged.
...of 22 years had quietly journeyed to the capital to pursue the study of his art with a small, thin, dark-complexioned, pockmarked, black-eyed, and bewigged veteran composer.
Right. So this dark complexion, pockmarked, dark-eyed, bewigged young musician came with his teacher, a veteran composer. Go ahead.
In the well-known anecdote related by Carpani of Haydn's introduction to him.
Right. So Haydn was the composer, the veteran composer. Go ahead.
Anton Esterhazy, the prince, is made to call the composer a Moor.
What did he call him?
A Moor.
Right. Damn. So sis, Haydn, the veteran composer, is being called a Moor. Right. So the Moors are black. Everybody knows that. Right. Read on.
Beethoven had even more of the Moor in his looks than his master.
Beethoven he had more black features than his master. That's what they're saying. Go ahead.
His front teeth, owing to the singular flatness of the roof of his mouth, protruded and, of course, thrust out his lips.
Right, so they're saying he had big lips. Go ahead.
The nose.
Big nose.
Too, was rather broad and decidedly flattened,
This man is a Negro. Go ahead.
while the forehead was remarkably full and round. In the words of court secretary Mailer, who twice painted his portrait a bullet. Beethoven, wrote Junker, confessed that in his journeys he had seldom found in the playing of the most distinguished virtuosi that excellence which he supposed he had a right to expect. He now had an opportunity to make his observations upon the pianists and composers at the very headquarters then of German music, to improve himself by study under the best of them, and by to measure his strength with theirs. He found very soon that the words of the poet were here also applicable. "'Tis distance lends enchantment to the view," and did not find, now Mozart was gone, what he supposed he had a right to expect.
Right. Stop right there. So since Mozart was gone, now this was the next guy, Beethoven. Right. So get rid of that. I want to talk to my sister now. My sis. What do you think about that?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I haven't read that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have looked at him. He does look black in certain pictures, you know.
Right.
Yeah. But I hadn't read that.
Right.
I just have read that, yes, people have said that he was black, but there was no evidence that
Right.
he was really black.
Right. And that's why they put that in the book when it said that they had to. There's not a lot of what they said, a lot of facts, but this is a patent fact. So this guy said, "Listen, I'm gonna let you know what's going on. This man is a Negro, and his veteran composer who trained him is a Negro, and now they're coming over here to, I guess, polish up or let people know their skill set. That's what it was about."
I'm going to read up some more on that. That's really very important. Here again,
Right.
you know, information who killed, youngsters who are playing classical piano.
That's right.
Exactly.
Who won't go any further because it doesn't appear that there's any room for us
Right.
in that world, which that is not true. And we've been doing, and it's not actually just from the 17 and 1800s. We're still doing all of this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
We didn't just stop with
No.
Dr. Martin Luther King, if you will. I
Right.
mean, we're still doing wonderful.
No, we're always inventing and we're always doing stuff. Even when you come to
We will
music,
always be.
right? Even when you come to music, the music that they're playing now is just to make the youth go crazy. This is strictly for the death of our people, because we still have talented pianists, talented violinists, talented composers, and all of that. They're out there. They're just not being seen at all.
Exactly.
They're not being seen at all.
I just learned about the black violins. I felt so bad. I didn't know about those kids. I mean, they're not kids, but
Right.
that was amazing to me. These two young men are doing it.
Yeah, remember.
With their violin.
I'm sorry, but remember Louis Farrakhan. He's been playing violin for 100 years.
He's a pretty amazing young man too. Well, he ain't young.
He ain't young no more, but when he was doing this thing, his violin skills, remember, he was with the Philharmonic. He literally was with them on the stage playing just as well. And Louis Farrakhan, he was actually a musician. He in before he went into the Nation of Islam, he was a musician. That. Yeah. He was a soca musician, calypso music.
Okay.
Yeah. You know? So yeah, this is what our people do. Okay, yeah, these brothers, yep.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yep.
Is that correct? That's so. And they were both classically trained.
Oh yeah.
But now they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
that's amazing. I feel proud.
Yeah, this is what we do. You know, but we have to learn how to just love ourselves and stop trying to let the world love us, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, if we're great at something, we don't need to be, oh man, I have to be on this particular thing so everybody. No. We have to be about ourselves. You know what I mean? We have to separate out. The scriptures say that separate yourself, meaning you're not going to leave the country and do all of that. But when it comes culturally, we have to control our stuff.
Yes.
You know, we got to control our stuff, you know?
And be true about what we've actually done. So like getting back to the light bulb.
Right.
Thomas Edison did invent the light bulb.
Right.
That he did. But he couldn't keep the doggone thing lit.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, so keeping it on was more important part. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And that's why I said, how can you talk about that and not talk about him? How can you talk about the railroad industry and not talk about Elijah?
Right.
That's insane. I mean,
Right.
but you're right. I mean, it's all by design. We know that. And now that we have shows like yours, I'm teaching what I do and all the other thousands of folks that are out there doing something. We just have to keep moving. We do. But I think one of the things, the hardest thing for us to do is to get these parents engaged with their children, because it goes a lot further. Everything goes a lot further with children when their parents are engaged.
Oh, absolutely.
It's easier. So when we crack that nut, we'll be okay.
Oh yeah, the scriptures talk about that you have to teach your children. You know, by the way, wherever y'all at, you got to be teaching. And it's talking about the laws of God, but it's talking about everything. The point is that you have to be that first teacher, that main teacher. What happens is a lot of our people, when we send our kids to school, when they come home, we're like, all right, well, I'm tired, so I went to work today, so that's the teacher's job. Yeah. But it's your job to figure out what your child is learning, so you may have to put in some other information in there to counteract some foolishness that they probably learned in school. Yeah. Exactly. You know, like Sarah has 2 dads, or you know, foolishness like this. It can't be. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what we teaching. We not saying you, because I don't know how people feeling about it, but when it comes to like say 2 mothers, you know, we're homosexual reality, and we have homosexual relationship, and now we're raising a child. No, we're not going to teach that in our school. Right. No, that's against God's laws. It makes no sense, right? So that's confusion to a child, right? Because now they're going to say, wait a minute, I thought this boy grew up with 2 dads. Now this is madness. You know what I'm saying? This is not what our people are about. But in America, they make us accept that.
Yeah, right. You have to.
Right? They make us accept that, but that's not us. You know? I know we took a lot of your time, but we got to show you one more thing before you go. One more thing. Hey, bring up that book, The Pillory. Sis, anything you want, anything with these historical type of things, anything you want to know historically with these books that we're showing, please contact us. We'll send you all the titles and everything, all right? This one is called In the Pillory, The Tale of the Borgia Pope, all right? It says in 9 crowded chapters, 38 splendid illustrations by John Bond, right? So watch this. Put that picture up. Read that.
Profile of the bust of San Salvatore,
right.
posed for by Cesare Borgia. Posed for by Cesare Borgia.
Right. So San Salvatore is what? Just means the salvation. What does that mean? It's San Salvatore, like the Savior. I'm sorry. The Savior. Right? So it's saying the bust of the Savior posed for by Caesar Borgia, but that's supposed to be Christ, the Savior. Right? So it's letting you know that he posed for that picture. Go to the next one. Read that.
Okay. The original of this bust was found in the church of San Salvatore in Termis, now destroyed. Mm-hmm. It is an open secret.
It's an open secret. Go ahead.
That Cesare Borgia, the son of Pope Alexander, had posed for it.
Go ahead.
Upon the demolition of the church, the bust disappeared until it was rediscovered on the walls of the penitentiary of Civita Castellana near Rome.
Right. So it's letting us know right here that all these images of this white Jesus Christ, you see, it was posed for by Caesar Borgia. So nobody needs to look at a white Jesus Christ anywhere and say this is Christ. That's not him. The real Christ is black, but they don't want to show that. But we have that. That's in many old books. That's what Putin brought out in all of his books. But we've been bringing out those books for before we came in and learned. Right. Our teachers have been showing that, showing us that Christ is black and all of that. So, and the Bible talks about it clearly, but we just wanted to show you that, sis. So, there's no, there's no, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? I'm missing my words tonight. There's no, oh God. Somebody help me.
They've been stealing our history and our patents for millions of years, for a long time. So
right.
It's not just a recent thing from slavery. They've been taken from us from the beginning. Right. We are the God people, right? We are the inventors. We are the mathematicians. Yes. We cannot help but to be God's chosen people. We can't help but to be great.
That's
Right.
Some of these young kids gang banging, but they play the flute on the back end, but they get talked about for playing the flute.
Right.
So
Right.
they'd rather come out, sag their pants, and hang out with the fellas on the street, but back home they really got a bomb talent.
Right.
You know, and that's why your work is so good, because the scriptures say where there is no vision, the people perish. You come out with books and history to show the people vision. Say, hey, you can be a mathematician. You can be more than a nurse. You could be the medical scientist. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a dental assistant. You can create the enamel. You know, so that's why your work is so important, and our work is our work is important. I'll say more important because it gives history, right? And matter of fact, I'll say like this, our work is the same, but on different levels, right? So when you look at the Moors, yeah, black people are the Moors, but if you dig further down that hole, guess what? You find out that the Moors was the saints, and the saints are the Jews, and the Jews were black. And you see what I'm saying? So the more we continue to dig, the more prestigious we find who we are. Because when you find out that we are these people, God said he know us and none else.
Right.
We the only people that actually have why destroy this history? It's better to steal it.
Right.
You know?
You know, and you brought up a good point about you know, who we are as a people and how people respond to it. Also, when you talk about the Greeks, right? Did you know that there were 8 black Roman emperors? Right? A lot of people don't know that. Right? Right. So you had Septimius Severus, right, who was a ruler, right? He took over. When you see, I don't know if you've ever seen a movie called Gladiator. Have you seen Gladiator, right? With Russell Crowe. So Russell Crowe's character is actually supposed to be black, right? Septimius Severus, and he didn't die at the end. He took over, right? So when you see the new movie Gladiator 2, Denzel Washington's character is really supposed to be that Septimius Severus. He's supposed to take over, so on and so forth.
Right.
Those 2 emperors they had there, the 2 the brothers, those guys were supposed to be Septimius Severus's sons. They're black as well. Like, this is historical fact. But when they put the movie together, they said, oh, people are angry because Denzel is in it. He's black. Because that was the beginning of the black rulership in Rome. Our people were in Rome the entire time. That's why when you're reading about Christ and everybody in the Bible, when it says there's neither Jew nor Greek, it's not talking about the white Greeks. It's talking about the Greek-speaking Jews. Our people who was in Rome, not following the laws. We had different names, just like how we are now in America, right? We have names like Jennifer and you know, and Heather and stuff like that. But that's not our names biblically. Right? You know what I'm saying? We don't have our biblical names, our last names, right? Johnson and Jackson, and you know, like, you have a biblical name. I don't know. Did you change your name, or was that your name all the time? Tamara Shiloh.
Tamara, yeah.
Yeah.
I was born Tamara.
Okay. What about Shiloh?
That's my husband's name.
Okay. Well, your husband is a saint. He's the he's the saint of God. This man.
He's a who?
He's a saint.
Please don't cut that out.
Oh no, we're not gonna cut it out. Where are you, brother, Mr. Shiloh?
I need him to think he's a
Mr.
saint.
Shiloh, you are the saint in your house. You are the king in there.
Oh my God, I will not repeat that.
Oh my goodness, we got to meet him. We're gonna meet him, sis. When we meet him, it's gonna be a new thing. Your house is gonna be upside down.
Oh my God.
But yes, sis, so there's a lot. I mean, there's so much history, but it's a beautiful thing what you're doing with the kids' books. But if you can take some of this history and translate that into some, you know, that would be excellent.
You know, every time I learn, I mean, because I don't do a lot of historical research on African history, but it is so amazing too, also, because I do read and I do write articles about like Mansa Musa.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my.
Moses
and the Moors. They actually invented everything.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. So I do, when I learn something, I do try to infuse it in whatever it is I'm teaching. But it is, and we do need to figure out how, or not figure it out, we do need to include our African history and American history. I mean, you know, so now when I apply for a grant, we have to learn how to use different words now, because that administration has come up with like 50 words that have been banned. Serious?
Really?
So in some of the grants, instead of saying Black history and Hispanic Latinx history, I'm saying culturally relevant American history.
Wow.
I know, right?
Yeah,
but
wow.
in order, okay, so like the lady said on the video, she said, look, it's not about all that. It's about you getting the money you need to do the programs. You can say whatever you want to say in the grant,
Right.
but you're still teaching what you need to teach,
right.
So,
Right.
but just the whole idea that, we have to write that way to get what we need. Is ridiculous, but
Right.
I don't really care. They can say whatever they want to say. I would keep doing what I'm doing because
Right.
I do believe it's important, and the children enjoy it. I mean, if they had taught me about my history, I would have liked history. I didn't like history. It had nothing to do with me.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it's so horrible. I hear people talking about certain things. I don't have a clue because I
Right.
wasn't listening.
Right. No, absolutely. And but that was done purposefully.
Yeah.
Right. Because
exactly.
we wouldn't be, we're bored. We're like, what are we talking about here? Like, we're just more white people. You know what I mean? Like, even though as a child, you're not thinking in terms of that, like, oh, these white
Right.
people, but you're just recognizing that it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Right. We learned about slavery, so we know now these are the people who conquered us, and all we doing is seeing conquering. So it's done like that to make us feel like we're nothing. We made you. We brought you as slaves, and then we civilized you. You should thank us for being here.
Right.
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 But in reality, it was the other way around.
Exactly.
Right. So, sis, listen, we're happy that you came on tonight. Thank you for being gracious with your time. Anything we can do to help you,
I
just
appreciate
please let us know. We have no problem. We go everywhere. We help anybody. If you need, again, any information from books, anything, we'll give it to you. You know what I'm saying? We'll give it to you free. It's not like we don't charge anybody anything, because this is what it is. Right.
I will. Thank you for that. This was very educational for me too. You shared some things that I had no idea, and I'm going to fix that because I took some notes. So
No, that's
All
good.
praises.
That's good.
All
Yeah.
praises.
And
I
again,
need
anything.
to know
Yeah.
anything further. I'll be sure to ask you
Yep.
about that. But thank you.
Absolutely.
I always enjoy talking about this, so I appreciate again. And tell those young ladies they came here to do an event.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right.
That's how this
And
all
that's-
started.
Exactly. And they came back. They were very excited after meeting you.
Yeah, that was they were really good. Gosh, how wonderful.
Yeah.
I hope they come back.
Oh no,
'cause
100%. They already talked about that. They're gonna reach out to you again.
you're in New York?
No, we're actually in Sacramento.
Oh,
right
so
now.
you are there. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
I am
okay.
here.
Oh, no, because I was thinking, I'm like, okay, so it's like my bedtime way before
Oh
this.
yeah.
But and then I was thinking, well, if they're back east, it's like 1 o'clock
Like in the morning. Yeah. It's crazy late over there. Yeah, so we're here.
Okay, this
You
is
know,
cool.
yeah, our show starts a little bit later than most. So
That's okay. No, this is fine. I
All
mean,
right. So
I'm
thank
good.
you. Thank you
I
again.
appreciate you too. Thank you so much.
All right, all
All
praises.
praises.
Good to have you. Hopefully we can have you
My
back.
sister.
We'll have something else because we're doing a series on inventors and things like that. So we'll probably
But
bring
you
you back.
guys come see us too at open mic.
Yes.
Please.
Okay. You know what? That sounds like something to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll come
please.
by. Definitely. All
Okay.
right. All right. Thank you, Tamara. All right. Be safe.
Enjoy.
All right. Shalom. All praises.
That was the good stuff right there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All the time, man.
Yeah.
I like connecting with our people out there. Connecting with our people. They doing good works. They got the mind to love their people.
That's
they
right.
love their people, so they doing the work the best they know how to do. And if we could share something, like you said, help them help themselves. That's the whole point.
Yeah, for real.
You know?
So imagine doing those kids books, but you have this history
Yeah.
of our people as the Moors. Because I know if I was a kid and I would have seen that, us in the armor, being the knights at the round table and all of that,
Yeah.
that would have been. We don't know where we would have went
Yeah.
with that information. So it's important that we put this out there to the people. to the children especially. You know, we teach the kids here, but now we gotta put that thing everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like you defeat an enemy and he keep getting up. You just keep getting up.
Yeah.
You know, and he's strong too. This enemy's strong.
Oh,
and you say, man, well, what makes him keep getting up? Eventually you find out, they history. They keep realizing who they are, you know, and they continue to fight. So if we don't want these people to get up anymore, because every time they nearly beat us.
Right.
Let's put them all the way to sleep.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, 100%.
And let's look inside their book and find out how to do it. Hope deferred.
Right.
Where there's no vision, the people perish.
Yep.
Make it a fairy tale.
Yep. And as a man thinketh, so is he.
Yeah,
so let's control his environment, control what he see, control what he think is possible, and they'll never get up.
Yep.
Until we come along. Give me Hosea 3 and 4. We'll come along and we'll right the wrong. We fix the problem. All praises. I was able to hear something. I was not even looking for the truth. I was not looking for it at all.
Right.
But it found me and I couldn't turn it off. Right. So watch this.
Hosea chapter 3 verse 4.
Come on.
For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king,
Uh-huh.
and without a prince,
Yep.
and without a sacrifice,
Right.
and without an image.
And without a what?
And without an image.
We're gonna go a long time without a successful image.
That's right.
A long time. And our hope gonna be deferred. Martin Luther King, he gonna make us feel real good. We're gonna get almost and pow. Let's kill him on TV. Right? Martin Luther King or Malcolm X. You can hear black people going strong. You know what I'm saying? We starting to feel like something. Pow. And that's the hope deferred. Now we can show them that, you know, even if you do try, you're just gonna die. So all your revolutionaries, they being revolutionary in their own neighborhood, killing each other.
Right.
They fighting for little blocks and neighborhoods when they supposed to be taking over the world. You know? Jump over one chapter, chapter 4 and verse 6. It say many days. No, keep reading that real quick. It's some more on that. Hosea 3 and 4. Let's read that again, and then we jump over one chapter. Watch this.
For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince,
Yep.
and without a sacrifice,
Right.
and without an image, and without an ephod, and without a teraphim.
So we don't have a king over us. We don't got no successor, which is a prince. We don't have no sacrifice. Those are your Levitical priests. We don't know who we are as far as God. Right. Without an image, we have not seen that. Without an ephod, that's your royal garments. Read on.
Afterward,
After those many days without the image, read.
shall the children of Israel return
We're gonna return to God for some reason. Read on.
and seek the Lord their God,
Uh-huh.
and David their king
Yep.
shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days.
No, in the old times.
In the latter days.
In the latter days, God said his people gonna wake up. No matter how much we've been destroyed, we gonna wake up in the latter days. And that's where we are, whether you like it or not.
Yep.
Whether you like it or not, we are it. You know, we got the Bible to prove it. We got books secular to prove it, so on and so forth. So the more you want to dig, that's all we doing is showing and proving.
That's right.
Jump over to chapter 4 and verse 6.
Hosea chapter 4 verse 6.
Come on.
My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
We destroyed for a lack of knowledge. We destroyed in that sense, right? We don't know who we are. We don't know our nationality. We don't know who we used to be. We don't know how prestigious we were, and we don't know God's laws. Read on.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Yep.
That thou shalt be no priest to me,
Mm-hmm.
seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
Right.
I will also forget thy children.
And that's why we in such a desolate state. Our children are deteriorating, man. They twerking on TikTok. They gang banging. They shooting each other.
Right.
You know, and it's our job to fix it. We got to fix it.
100%. Hey, go to Exodus chapter 1, right? Because we brought out before about us building those pyramids, right? But it goes, the reason we built them pyramids then, because we already had that technology from way back, right? Good. Exodus 1, you can read from verse 8.
Exodus chapter 1 verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
Right, who didn't know Joseph, the forefather, right? Who was the father of the tribes of Manasseh and Ephraim, right? So he was the second in command in Egypt, but he died. And this new king rose up, and he didn't know Joseph, meaning that he didn't respect the Israelites. That's what it's really saying. Go ahead.
And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it comes to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us. And so get them up out of the land.
Go ahead.
Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burden.
Right. They set over them taskmasters. They put them in slavery. That's what happened. Israel was there before free in Egypt, but now they got put into slavery. He said he put taskmasters over them, meaning what? People, other Israelites, they chose to be the taskmaster over us, right? So that's what they did even in modern day slavery. They had one of us being what? That face of slavery. So that's how we started to learn how to hate each other, right? But go ahead.
And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities.
Right.
Python.
Stop. Oh, they built for Pharaoh treasure cities. Go ahead.
Python and Ramses.
Right, those treasure cities. That's all those cities you see with the pyramids set up and the Sphinx and all that kind of stuff. That's what was being built. Don't think they were building it because they were being shown the plans and the Egyptians came up with all the plans and then there was some Israelites among them with that knowledge. All right, because like I said, Joseph was the number 2 in Egypt. You think he was the only Israelite in the cabinet, so to speak, right? Because we were in there. Right? Until we weren't. For real. Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, man.
That was a fire show, man.
It was real good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hold on. Bring up some of them inventors we got. Because we got a little more time. Bring up some of them inventors, y'all. All right. Y'all could just bring up the text stuff. The text stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Just choose. Now you can just choose.
Right. Right.
Crazy
Coming
boy.
out here. Yeah. That boy is crazy.
Came out here with his smoke grenade.
Yeah.
He look like Eddie Murphy.
Oh, man. Look, Granville T. Wood's inventions power life still today. Let's scroll down, y'all. Hey, make that a little bigger so this man can see. Go ahead, bro.
Does the name Granville T. Woods ring a bell? Maybe a telephone. Woods was an African-American inventor who made important improvements to the telephone, streetcar, and much more. Born in Columbus, Ohio on April 23rd, 1856, Woods' groundbreaking inventions changed how we live today. Referred by some as the Black Edison.
The Black Edison. We always got to be the black something.
Right.
Christ is black, and they still say Black Jesus.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't say white Jesus. Oh, that's the white. No, they say the Black Jesus. Go ahead.
The storied inventor registered nearly 60 patents in his lifetime. In fact, Wood successfully defended his patents for the induction telegraph system against a lawsuit from Thomas Edison.
So Thomas Edison was suing him. Talking about, you can't be smarter than me, nigga. That's why he was suing him. Because he ain't taking what they trying to say. He took something from Thomas Edison. Come on, beat it. Go ahead.
Woods held various engineering and industrial jobs before establishing a company to develop electrical apparatus.
Okay.
He filed his first patent. He filed his first patent for an improved steam boiler furnace. His second invention, an improved telephone transmitter, combined the telephone and telegraph. It was louder and clearer, even from long distances. Alexander Graham Bell bought the patent for this device.
Wow. So Alexander Graham Bell, his name is on, he basically run the phone system. Yeah. All the phone systems today who we got broken up is Sprint, is T-Mobile, all this and that. At one time, it was all Bell. You know? Right. Pac Bell, that would be on the West Coast. Yeah. Then, I forgot what they called it out east, but everything was Bell. All right, go ahead. It's called Bell Labs, and that's where everything was made. Go ahead.
And this purchase launched a new phase of Wood's career as an inventor, a streetcar named Innovation. Bell's handsome payment gave the Ohio native the freedom to devote himself to his own research.
Well, that part is good. He actually got the money. He got the money from Alexander Graham Bell, right? And now he was able to go ahead and put his stuff into motion. That's crazy. Go ahead.
This included the trolley.
Oh, the troller. Sorry, go ahead.
This included the trawler, a grooved metal wheel that allowed streetcars, later known as trolleys, to collect electric power from overhead wires.
Right, so that's still going on in San Francisco right now. Yeah. And I saw it in Oakland for me. I think they got rid of it in Oakland, but in San Francisco, that's definitely still a thing. Yeah. Heavy. Go ahead.
He also developed this idea for an induction telegraph system so that trains could avoid accidents by informing each other of their locations.
Damn, go ahead.
Then there was his contribution to a metaphor of the same name. Woods developed the concept of a third rail.
The third rail. Go ahead.
Which is still used on subway train platforms in major cities across the country.
Right. So that third rail is where all the power goes through, that powers the train, all electricity flows through there. They would always tell you that as a kid. Make sure you don't play on them tracks and don't touch that third rail because you dead. You have no way. You cannot live. That's it. You just explode right then and there. Go ahead.
Back to the Future. Woods died in 1910. His inventive ideas not only advanced the telecommunications and transportation industries, but also transformed our lives daily. At Entergy, diversity helps us achieve business results.
Come on, get out of here. All right, we can leave that alone. That's their little, their little slogan or whatever. But that's Granville T. Woods, right? What he, the work that he did. Who else we got there before we leave tonight? Who else we got? Come on, brothers. Didn't they tell us they had it all linked up? We know
Lewis Latimer.
We know about Lewis Latimer. Let's get somebody else. Shout out to Lewis Latimer. Okay.
Jan Ernst Matzeliger.
Man. Go ahead.
Shoe lasting machine.
Right.
U.S. patent number 274207. Inducted in 2006. Born September 15th, 1852. Died August 24th, 1889. Mm-hmm. Jan Matzeliger invented the automatic shoe. Is that lasting or
lasting?
Shoe lasting machine, mechanizing the complex process of joining a shoe sole to its upper and revolutionizing the shoe industry.
Right. So basically, he was able to put together the top of the shoe to the sole, where it'll stay, stay connected. So I guess maybe back then shoes were just busting apart at the seams, But he made this machine that was going that they say revolutionized the whole industry. But go ahead.
Matzeliger was born in 1852 in what is now Paramaribo, Suriname, to a Dutch father and Surinamese mother.
So they saying to a Dutch father and a Surinamese mother, huh? Yeah. So hey, we know what he is.
He could be black still.
Yeah, he could be black. Yo, they just made him black. I saw the last name, but that don't really mean much. But now we know he got a Dutch dad and a Surinamese mom. Somehow they put him in the black section. How'd that happen? Go ahead.
From an early age, Matzeliger understood a great deal about working with machines. At just 10 years old, he began working in the machine shops supervised by his father.
All right, that's cool. We know what he did. Bounce off. Let's see if we get one more before we get out of here, man. Don't tell me you got a Dutch dad.
Boy, look at that mustache.
Yeah, that's heavy. Yeah, the super thick.
Go back to it.
That thing was flowing, bro. Oh, God.
Dr. Robotnik.
Go ahead, y'all.
American inventor and businessman Alexander Miles. Nope, click over.
What's going on?
What are we doing,
there you
guys?
go.
These guys are nuts.
Here we go.
All right.
Blow it up a little. Oh, there you go.
Okay. At TAUC, Black History Month is a time to recognize those who transformed the construction industry, and among them stands Alexander Miles. Born on May 18th, 1838, in what would later be named Duluth, Minnesota. Alexander Miles became a game changer in an unexpected field, elevators. In the late 19th century, as cities aimed for the skies with towering skyscrapers, manual elevator doors posed serious safety concerns for construction crews and building occupants. With the growing height of skyscrapers, safety risks escalated. Alexander Miles stepped in with a groundbreaking invention, the automatic elevator door system, patented on October 11th, 1887. Miles' innovation wasn't just a convenience, it significantly improved safety standards on construction sites and in buildings. The inspiration for Alexander's elevator door mechanism is believed to have come after his wife, Grace, accidentally fell down an elevator shaft, almost ending her life.
Damn, she survived. Whew. Go ahead.
Another version of the story suggests that while in an elevator with his young daughter, Miles noticed the potential risks of a casually left open elevator shaft door. This observation inspired him to create the design he is now known for.
All right. That's cool. That's cool. Y'all can drop that. All right. All praises. I mean, listen, there's so many inventors, that's why we got to do a series, and we're going to come back again and have somebody else on the show and go through different inventors, because listen, we will literally be here for hours.
Yep.
Like, we got so many that we can't even go into right now, because the time is not there. But it's a beautiful thing, y'all. Yeah, we need to know these historical facts. Basically, where there is no vision, the people perish. The children need to see that. Right. And many of our adults, like our sister here, she didn't know about the history that we were bringing out. So these are great things, But all praises to the Lord. Hey, I finally used the right hand, the first time. All right. Hey, y'all, donate to the Booster Club, all right? Give what you have. It's called the Isaiah 11:11 Project. We're all over the world gathering the 12 tribes, all right, of the nation of Israel. The Lord said, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. We're doing that, all right? We're putting in that work, but it costs. All right, y'all, so please help us out. That'll be y'all brick that y'all putting in, all right? Anything you can will be greatly appreciated, all right? All praise to the Lord. Come on. All right, and save a couple of cents for us. All right, donate to the Nehemiah Squad. All right, IUIC.NorCal at IsraelUnite.org. That's the PayPal. And you got the QR code right there. All right. They jumping off real quick. They ain't even let nobody get a chance to give us some bread.
Man,
we need to hire a new IT team.
Let it sit there.
Yeah,
for a minute, man.
Yeah, these guys out of their mind.
Some coins so we can hire a new IT team.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they don't want to leave it up there, because as soon as we get that money, they getting fired.
They fired.
Go to the next one. All right, so this is next week. All right, yeah, this thumbnail is pretty disgusting, but hey, all right. We got a sister coming on, Latova Quattlebaum, okay? She's going to be talking about flesh-eating STDs. She's a nurse, right? And she's going to be talking to us about flesh-eating STDs that's out there now, right? So you brothers and sisters, man, you need to be keeping it in your pants, all right? Let's keep the laws of God. We won't have to go through this, all right? But she's going to come on, and we're going to discuss all type of STDs and bad things, bad sexually transmitted diseases. All right, and spiritually transmitted diseases. That's really what it is.
Right.
All right. So all praises to the Lord, man. So, Officer Shem, man, take us out, bro.
Yo. You already know. About to try it again, y'all.
You gonna do it. You ain't gonna try it.
You gonna do it.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 21. Then I testified against them and said unto them, why lodge ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you.
If you do it again, we gotta lay hands on you. Y'all know what time it is. If you don't donate to the Booster Club, we gotta lay hands on you. Esau, keep on stealing, Mr. Redman. We gotta lay hands on you. Hey, y'all done tuned in to the Nehemiah Squad. We are your hosts. I'm Officer Shem. That's Captain Zaccai. That's Officer Judah. Shout out to the haters and frenemies online.
Oh yeah,
we out.
All praises. Most High Christ bless y'all. Shalom.
Even the eat, days away from the heathen. I need a break, I don't need a reason. I need a script, I don't need your grievance. Keep it to yourself, it's better for my health. Leave it on the shelf, ain't hearing nothing else. Tonight ain't the night. Pay it off with my life, till it's out with your lights. Do it all for the Christ, and he ain't playing nice. Knew the end from the start. Fix your face like it's art. The sons of a simp, call him Bart. Yeah, you did your best, played your part. But now it's time to cut you to the heart. Flex on occasion. It's the strangeness of the salvation. You see it, believe it, amazing. Them terrorists coming invasion since the creation. War, mine, Lord, bless the general. Greatest nation, eat them unequivocal. Bombs dropping, buddy, cause it's biblical. Start shit, now it's time to finish. Whoa. Said he won't vote, we looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.
I can't wait for our kingdom to start and for theirs to be finished. Get rid of all of their idols and lying religions. Look for the crown like an Idris. Hey, this that crown talk. Wisdom of Solomon 5 talk. This that second Idris 6 and 9. We want eyes talk. It's your time to end and my time begin. It's our time to win. Away with the sin. You know what it is. Rejoice with my kin. See that is why we repented. Go to streets, I can see myself in it. The city is bright, the kingdom of light. A wonderful sight past the angels, the inner light. I need 1,000 years of labor. Sit on my throne with my savior. Try the new wine, press alone. He bring pain like major. You think the nations is equal to us? TK Kirkland, who raised you? Flex on occasion, my God a racist. That's why we moving with patience. It's been a long time coming. I spent my whole life running. Now that I'm 10 toes down and established my faith on 100. Woe to the nations, my king will race them. You know they gotta be punished. Jeremiah 25. Yeah, you know they gon' fry. Whoa! Said he won't vote, we looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of